And we welcome you to the Rhodes House here at Alabama. The Crimson Tide taking on the Texas Longhorns. Just underway, a leadoff walk for Texas has Caden Henry with good speed on the base paths and Leanne Good at the plate. Last night in the opener of this series, Good hit 2 home runs to lead the way for Texas to a 9-1 win, handing the Tide their worst loss of the season. For Texas, #1 in the country at 32-2. A win tonight would keep them on pace with Oklahoma for first place in the league. Vivi Martinez and Reese Atwood right there in the heart of this order. Look at what they've done the last 4 games. Hit 5 out of the park and have driven in a dozen.
Yeah, Vivi Martinez as of late has been outstanding. Reese Atwood, she's just all career everything. Top hitter and catcher for Texas.
And Vic Moten is making the biggest start of her young career, the freshman out of Daphne, Alabama. Trying to even this series tonight for the Crimson Tide and trying to get her first conference win. She's 13-2 on the season, both of those losses coming in SEC play. She's got the best ERA amongst the freshmen in the country.
Yeah, she's really strong in the circle. I think the one little bugaboo that she really needs to work on are going to be those free passes, 25, actually 26 now on the year.
And threatening 2 in a row to open up the ball game.
Back-to-back 3-2 counts for the freshman.
Good fouls it off.
And one thing about Texas, they do a good job of drawing those walks, 160 walks coming into today's game. That's one of the tops in the country.
And we welcome you to one of the best venues in all of college softball. Beth Mullins, along with the 2-time Olympic gold medalist Michelle Smith, here at the Rhodes House in Alabama. Swing and a miss, but it's dropped by Giles. Crowd is ready for a little something to get them going. They were kept quiet by the 9-1 loss last night, so they are ready to bust. And hoping the Tide can get out to a better start. Here's the 7th pitch to Good, and she lost her as well. Back-to-back walks to open the game for the freshman.
Vic has that really good velocity. She will drop her changeup down to 52 miles an hour, but it's that separation that really makes her best when that drop is falling off the table. The rise hoppy at the top of the zone, but she's got to work ahead and hammer the zone. These back-to-back walks here put her a little bit of jeopardy in the top of the first.
Yeah, throwing 14 pitches to the first 2 batters. And here is Martinez. Giles fires down to third, not in time to get Henry.
Well, that's a great job by Caden Henry to see that ball angle down. She knows it's going to be in the dirt, and the second it's in the dirt, she's going to take off and make her way up an additional 60 feet.
So the wild pitch gets a couple in scoring position. Martinez, their starting shortstop since she stepped on campus 3 years ago, but had to watch last season. Missed their championship year due to injury, and back with a vengeance this year. 1-2 pitch, got her. 1 down.
And that is a big strikeout for the freshman in a pressure situation with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Martinez had a home run last night on a pitch on the inner half. They decide to tack her on the outer half. Nice drop ball with downward movement. Picks up a strikeout in the first out of the game for Vic Moten, the freshman.
Youngster throws with some velocity. Good strikeout pitcher this year as Reese Atwood will come to the plate. And Mike White wants to talk to Reese and the on-deck hitter, Katie Stewart, also their new hitting coach this year. Aaron Earlywine is out there to chat. They were able to get after ace Jocelyn Brisky early and often yesterday. In fact, scored in 6 of the 7 innings yesterday.
Absolutely, but they were consistent. They were relentless on the base paths and attacking the zone. And this is a tough situation here with Atwood in that 4-hole. You got Katie Stewart behind her, who has just been on a tear this year. 18 home runs for Stewart behind Atwood's 14 home runs.
Reese hitting .422 with runners in scoring position this year.
This is a first pitch that's a little bit too sweet in this situation. You can see it's supposed to be on the outer half, and it's just elevated and right over the white. And because of that, Atwood is going to punish it, send it right back up the middle, and Vandergrift is going to come up. She knows she has no opportunity to make that throw home. So 2 big runs on the board already for the Longhorns.
Reese Atwood, RBIs number 45 and 46 for their career RBI leader. And when you're 32-2, you win a lot of games. 25-0 when they score first, including last night's win. They just had a 29-game win streak come to an end on Sunday. That was a school record. And a big reason why is this woman right here, Katie Stewart. Tons of pop in that bat, 18 homers, 45 RBI.
Been hot as of late. 4 of her last 7 hits have been home runs. She had a home run in last night's game.
Moten tried to get her to chase, 2-2. Stewart's a junior out of Frankfort, Illinois. Best slug, best OPS in the SEC this year. Even better than those Oklahoma bats.
Which is saying a lot.
Yeah. She's number 2 in home runs to Kendall Wells, who hit another one today, her 29th for the Sooners.
A lot of people are asking, did they change the ball? It just seems to be flying out of the yard this year.
She's got a heck of a swing. So does Stewart. Fouls off the 2-2. Of course, we will have that series in its entirety next weekend when Texas hosts Oklahoma. Last year's SEC champ and national champ head-to-head. Just missed it, and another full count. That's the 3rd one of the inning.
That pitch just a little bit outside. Drop on the outer half, running away from Stewart. And they try to come back underneath the hands.
Pitch count already up over 25 in this first inning. They are so experienced. They are so mature as hitters. 6 players back on the field from their championship team of a year ago. And, of course, their ace, Tegan Cavan, also returning. She picked up the win last night in the Circle. Called strike 3. 2 down.
That was a great pitch by the freshman. After having 3 full counts, this is a drop ball on the inner half. Just really good job of painting that corner, and she is fired up, needs to be here.
Trying to limit the damage, and with 2 down, it's Kaya Altmaier. One of the newcomers in the lineup, the transfer from Arizona, a senior out of San Diego. 1 for 4, scored a run last night.
Well, this is one thing that Texas does, is they make you pay for those mistakes, the 2 walks to lead off and 2-hole wild pitch and a base hit.
They are top 10 in the country in scoring, batting average, slug, on-base percentage. The preseason favorites this year in the SEC. Coach Mike White told us that is one of the goals they've talked openly about. You know, when you got so many guys back from a championship team, you got to fight off complacency. They've set some lofty goals. And one of those is to win the league championship as the count goes to 2-2. This is the 4th full count to the first 6 batters.
Texas making the freshman work hard here. 34th pitch of the inning coming. They foul off a lot of pitches. They've got a great eye, so they watch pitches out of the zone. They very rarely expand or chase.
So important, I think, for Alabama's confidence to keep it close, give themselves a chance, and it's walk number 3 of the inning, and that will get Lance McMahon out of the Alabama dugout to go chat with the freshman.
Well, that's the tough part, because you get yourself into a 3-2 count, a couple of foul balls, and then a ball that slips out of your hand. That third walk of the inning pushes Reese Atwood into scoring position.
No bullpen activity, so they're going to let her work through it. And meanwhile, for Texas, you got to be thinking, hey, let's pile it on here. Get out to a big lead, just like game 1.
Absolutely, and they're starting a freshman as well, so want to put as many runs up on the board to give that freshman in the circle opportunity to have herself a good start.
7th batter to the plate is Ashton Maloney, the senior from Missouri. 3 for 4 with a couple of RBI last night. Really good defender for Texas, has a chance to make some noise here with the bat. Giles, good scoop behind the plate.
Because of Maloney's speed, the defense is pulled in for Alabama, and this is a situation where Moulton just needs to let her defense do the work, help her out. It's a very good defense for Alabama this year, and that's one thing as a freshman and pitcher, when you're struggling, you got to get in your own head and say, hey, I don't have to do this alone. I've got a really good left side, strong defense, right side, strong defense. Let's roll some ground balls.
6th best fielding percentage in D1. Ashton on the season has just 1 hit with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. She's got Atwood at second base, Altmaier at first. Slapped into the netting.
This is a tough part of the lineup also for the freshman Vic Moulton, because both Maloney and on deck Katie Bennett, they don't strike out a lot. So you're not trying to blow the ball past them. You've got to think, I just want them to miss-hit something and let my defense help me out.
And she lost another one.
Yeah.
4th walk of the inning loads the bases. And not the scenario that Alabama was hoping for. And now they do have some bullpen activity. It's a career high walks for Moulton. Two outs for the number 8 hitter, Katie Bennett. One of their starters a year ago, mostly in a reserve role this season. But gets the call as the DP. She's still hitting better than .350 this year. First time she's come to the plate with the bases loaded, as Vic Moulton tries to work out of it.
And that's the pitch he needs to be able to hit, that drop on the outer half.
Bennett taking 3-1.
You can tell by the body language of the freshman, just really struggling to grip the ball. I think the hand is kind of forced here. Alabama's going to need to make a change.
So Atwood comes in to score, and a pitching change coming on here for Alabama with 2 outs. Last night's starter, Jocelyn Brisky, comes on for the Tide. Jocelyn Brisky will come out of the bullpen. trailing 3-0, and the bases loaded with Longhorns. After Vic Moten walked 5 of the first 8 she faced.
Well, what you're going to get with Brisky is consistency. Just 11 walks on the year to 115 strikeouts. She did take the loss, her first of the year, last night in game 1. Dries and drop ball, really good separation on those pitches, but she also will work the corners.
And she will face the number 9 hitter. It's J.C. Nichols, the freshman from Durant, Oklahoma. 1 for 3 against Alabama last night. Excuse me, that's Wells at the plate. That is the starting pitcher tonight. Two and one.
Well, that's one of the things with Wells, because she is a two-way player. It gives Mike White the ability to use his lineup differently.
Can insert her in here. Hannah's got some more power coming out of that flex position, and a 3-1 count. They have just one hit the inning. A 2-run single from Reese Atwood. And now the count goes full. This is huge for Alabama to try and get out of the inning still within reach. Wells pops it up, back on the grass out and left is Salem Hawkins. Texas leaves.
7 coming in. They're just tough to get out. They also take their walks, as we saw in that first inning.
Alexis Papillo grounds it to Vivi Martinez. It's short, 1 down. Now we're going to find out a little bit about the depth of their pitching staff, Michelle, because they won with their ace last night, and they follow that up with the freshman righty, Hannah Wells.
Well, Hannah Wells, big opportunity for the freshman who can play on both sides. She hits and she pitches for the Longhorns. She does a great job, really, with her changeup and her off speed.
Couple of first pitches swinging, yeah. 2 down. Brooke Wells grounds out to good.
It's kind of what happens. It forces the hand of your opponent. When you put some runs up on the board, they've got to swing the bat, and Alabama trying to be aggressive.
This is, as of right now, a record-setting Alabama offense in terms of batting average and slug and on-base percentage. They are midway through the SEC season, threatening all those offensive numbers in terms of single-season success. They're led by Papillo at the top. Has been on base 32 games in a row. Alexis retired the first time up tonight, and this is Anna Roman, freshman from Oviedo, Florida. Had one of their 5 hits last night. But a top 10 recruit for the Tide.
She almost hits her teammate Taylor over there, who's also a freshman in the on-deck circle. Ducking to get out of the way. And these 2 freshmen hitting. How about that? Hitting 3 and 4 for a team like Alabama, 5th in the country.
Yeah, transferring 2 freshmen right up at the top. The newcomers have really injected a lot of enthusiasm and energy into an Alabama club that has been middle of the pack in the SEC the last 2 years. They're used to fighting for championships. This is a big weekend series for them to kind of make a statement that they could be in the chase for Patrick Murphy. Now in his 28th year here. So strong at home over the years at the Rhodes House. A win percentage of 85%. Off the end of the bat, slow roller to Nichols, and it's a 1-2-3 start for Hannah Wells. Missouri this evening.
It was not long ago that Tennessee was home run of the year for the Longhorns. They can do it all, and it is length throughout this lineup. The batting averages are gaudy. The power off the bat, unbelievable. It gets a pitch that is right over the middle, rise ball. And Henry does not hesitate. You can see the extension. When you get extended on a ball like that, it is going to go 250 without a doubt. Watch out, guys, in center field, man, in those cameras.
Fifth home run of this series from 4 different players. And that's in 8, make that 9 innings of play through the first couple of games. And Texas, just like they did yesterday, keeping the Rhodes house quiet as they jump out to the big early lead.
You have to remember, this is a Texas team that battled very hard against Texas A&M last weekend. And that series has set them up well for this series here at T-Town.
Jenny Young under that. Good is retired, 1 away. This is also, you know, for Mike White, when you know you got a lot of guys coming back, let's make sure we have a tough schedule. Let's make sure they feel challenged. Let's make sure that they have the juice every day to get up and play against the best. They're 12 ranked wins, by far the most in the country. And they are in the midst of a 13-game stretch, I believe, all against ranked foes. A&M last week, Alabama this week, Oklahoma coming up next week.
Well, we showed the standings of the SEC. What we didn't talk about is that, how about RPI? 7 of the top 10 teams in the country are in the SEC. How about 10 of the top 16 RPI are also SEC teams?
Yeah, the host bubble is going to be fun this year. You could have 10 SEC teams hosting.
Yep.
Notice how deep the league is. Vivi Martinez struck out in the first against the starting pitcher, Vic Moten, who did not get out of the first inning. Now Jocelyn Brisky is out there. Interesting move, too, for Alabama, because I think a lot of folks probably thought Brisky would be the starter. Game 3 tomorrow.
I'm putting her in a game where you're already down 3-0. However, the bases were loaded. I mean, I think that's the faith that Patrick Murphy has in his offense, saying, hey, I'm going to put my ace in. I need to shut down Texas here early and see if we can't get some runs up on the board.
Maybe a situation too, Smitty, where he gives her a run here for a couple of innings. Let's see if our bats can wake up a bit. If not, maybe we see him go to the bullpen after a few innings tonight, so that Brisky could come back ready tomorrow.
Brisky yesterday threw just 62 pitches in those 3 innings she worked. And this is a big battle against Vivi Martinez for her, because it was Martinez that started off with 2 outs in that first inning, a drop ball in the inner half that she hit out of the yard. It kind of set the tone for the game against Brisky.
Gets the swing and miss, 2 down.
And that's the pitch that's going to be important, Beth, because Vic Moulton, the freshman, did not have that pitch. Brisky has an outstanding changeup, and she's going to need to use that effectively and often. You can see the way that ball is not just off speed, but the movement down in the zone. It gets Martinez to swing through it.
Here's Reese Atwood. And we'd like to welcome those of you that have been watching the South Carolina Gamecocks knock out undefeated UConn in the Final Four. South Carolina into the national championship game, as Atwood drills one out to left under the glove of a diving Embry Taylor for the 2-out hit, her second single tonight. Gamecocks put the clamps on Sarah Strong, and AZ Fudd held UConn to 48 points. Spectacular defense from Dawn Staley's club, so they are in. And of course, Texas is on deck playing UCLA in the second game tonight in the national semis.
Gotta love the defense, right? They say in every sport, defense wins championships.
Texas is saying, hey, Smitty, how about our offense? We've scored in 8 of the 9 innings in the series, bud. Back-to-back knocks. That's Katie Stewart. And her first one tonight. Just nowhere to hide in the middle of this order, my goodness.
Nowhere to hide. You know, Katie Stewart has really worked on her swing. Her bat and her approach is much flatter this year, so she's able to attack pitches up in the zone. That one's just a little sweet. It's above the knee. One of the things I like about this Texas team is they are aggressive. They are attacking, and that's part of their motto. They're not defending their national championship, they're attacking it.
Thought that was great from Mike White. Said, yeah, we've got a couple of new carrots dangling out there. We want to win an SEC championship. Didn't get that done last year. We want to be better in April than we were a year ago when things got sideways a little bit for Texas. But, of course, they were able to straighten it out in time to get to the World Series and win it all.
Yeah, that slump in April was pretty profound. I mean, they talk about it a lot. You know, the batting averages went down, picked up a lot of their losses over the year, but they righted the ship. And sometimes it does take profound losses to get you moving back in the right direction again. A little bit of extra work.
Altmaier, and that one's a foul ball. Profound, you mean by getting run ruled by A&M in the SEC tournament?
Yeah, that was, what was that, 15-2 or something? Yeah, that was a shocker, especially when it's Texas A&M.
Boy, were they resilient in that Clemson series in the Supers on death's doorstep and rallied to win in extra innings and, of course, got to the series.
Oh, and that's what it takes. Sometimes it's battles. It's the, back up against the wall that teaches you how to keep throwing punches. And this is a sport where you cannot look backward. You got to keep, thinking one pitch ahead.
That's what we're talking about there. The loss that knocked them out of the SECs. They were down to their final out against Clemson. Rallied to win. Altmaier caught looking. Couple of hits, couple left on, and Caden Henry goes deep. It's Texas leading Alabama 4-0. So we've got some Texas fans that'll have a couple of screens on the basketball court in the national semis against UCLA. Texas is the only team to beat the Bruins this year. They did it back in November.
It's going to be a good one. It's such a great time of year. All the different sports going on. The diamond sports heating up. Basketball closing up.
Oh, yeah, got the Masters coming up.
Oh, yeah. A derby, isn't there a derby sometime coming up in the next month
Early
or so?
May,
yeah.
Happy Easter weekend to those of you that enjoyed this weekend.
This is an opportunity now for Alabama to really try to make Wells throw some pitches. Just the fourth batter coming to the plate for Alabama. How about 15 already for Texas?
Yeah, Wells, quick work, less than 10 pitches in the first inning. Got 3 ground outs at the top of the order. So here's Ambry Taylor with a 3-1 count. Freshman from Jasper, Alabama, comes in riding a 6-game hitting streak. And now a full count.
Now this is where Alabama is going to have to really be choosy with their pitches. They're going to have to try to stay inside that strike zone. Wells is going to hammer that lower half. Very good drop ball. Have to be very choosy, hitting those strikes, laying off pitches out of the zone.
Ground ball to Martinez. Look at the footwork from Vivi as she gets ready to make that play, and it's 4 ground outs to start the game.
Well, she's a master at rolling ground balls too. Vivi Martinez, an All-American type shortstop, because she's got that great drop ball at the lower half of the zone and really likes to use all of her pitches, but when she's hammering the low zone, she is tough to hit.
Here's the number 5 hitter, Marley Giles.
And there's that drop ball. 66% of the time, she's going to be throwing that in the high 60s, up to 68 miles an hour. Curveball extends, but it's also the ability to throw a changeup. And her rise ball's off speed, and that's the changeup. So that's like a curveball that's off speed, and it's going to be spinning away from right-handed hitters. And then how about a floaty rise ball that she'll throw up at your eyeballs and try to get you to swing through it. So a lot of different speed variation, as well as really good movement. There it is again. So she'll throw it on both sides. Mostly we'll work it away, but that one came back inside. She was lucky it was more inner half and came back door into the zone.
Showing us why she was the Gatorade Prep National Player of the Year and the Texas Player of the Year. Off of her glove, and Alabama has a base runner.
Hannah Wells, I know she's upset with herself on something like that. As a pitcher, when you've got a comebacker like that and it just goes off the glove, you can't catch it cleanly. It's like, oh, I know that should have been an out, but it's part of the game.
Going to score that one an infield hit, so that's the first for Bama today. And that'll bring up Audrey Vandegrift. One of the few times in her career that she is not batting leadoff. Moved down to the 6th spot tonight. Trying to regain the form of a fantastic freshman season last year for the Tide. Just foul outside the line.
Vandegrift has struggled a little bit. It really has expanded her zone. Her chase rate is up, and I heard take a good look at it. Last season, that chase rate down at just 23%. This year, batting average down, chase rate up. So what that means is that she is actually swinging at pitches outside of the zone. Pitchers are chasing her out of the zone.
And this one, Wells is able to handle. Only play is to first to get the second out. Giles was quick to second base for Alabama.
That's a good job by Wells. I think she looked and wasn't quite sure if she was going to throw to Martinez or Good. Martinez was on the bag, but she takes the safe out to get Vandegrift at first. It is a productive out for Alabama, but still something, want a little bit more of a charge when you've got Vandegrift up at the plate.
So now an RBI opportunity for Salem Hawkins. Went 0 for 2 in game 1, 329 batting average on the season.
Outstanding hitting by Hawkins, taking that ball right back up the middle. Opportunity to get on the board. You've got to be able to respond when your opponent is putting runs up. So Hawkins pitch on the outer half, slams it right back up the middle. But what I love is that Marley Giles, the way she's going to really get herself in a position coming home to be safe. Comes around third, and she's going to see Reese Atwood. And look at the way she's going to slide around, dive to the plate so that she's putting herself in a position where she cannot be tagged by Reese Atwood. Really good base running by Giles to make sure she scores.
Chance now for Jenna Young to tack on some more. A good combination of power and speed for this Alabama lineup. And the conditioning improvement, Michelle, is noticeable. That was one of the things that Patrick Murphy talked about. We need to be more athletic if we are going to compete with the best.
And they are. A lot of these young ladies have leaned up. They've gotten in the weight room. And they were talking like Lexi Papillo, one the leadoff hitter for Alabama. She talked about it. She's like, you know, we wanted to get stronger. We knew that absolutely. And you know, we're not starving ourselves. We're just, you know, a calorie deficit of about 500 calories a day, and getting in the weight room, lifting hard, and putting ourselves in a position that when we are swinging the bat, the exit velocities are going to be higher. So therefore, you're going to get more hits. You're going to have more power. You're going to hit the ball out of the park, and you're going to make this happen. You're going to make the Rhodes House start to cheer.
Yes, they want to be more athletic too, and more vocal. They sense what could be a moment here for the Tide to turn things around a bit. 3-0 from Hannah Wells. Three and one.
Good leverage counter for Jenna Young. See if she gets something on the outer half and down to get into.
2 on with 2 outs. First free pass. And that's got Patty Ruth Taylor out there in the circle, and that also has Cambria Salmon up in the bullpen for Texas.
This is a Texas team that has a lot of arms in the pen, a lot of opportunities to go to different pitchers.
Cruise through the first 4, and a little different story here in the last 4. And it's Lauren Johnson. Thought about the bunt, it gets by Atwood, and now 2 in scoring position for Flau'Jae.
Well, that's a situation here with 2 outs. She's not really looking to bunt. She might be trying to pull the corners, but look at the way her bat is going to come back. It's going to come back right into the eyes of Atwood. So that pitch elevated. She can't see it. Atwood, that is, cannot see it. And both runners move up on that wild pitch.
Well, Johnson squared again, takes a strike, 1-1. Score that one a wild pitch that advanced the runners. Two and 1. Hitter, and the bases are loaded for Alabama, and their best hitter on the season, Lexi Papillo.
Well, this is who you want up. Lexi Papillo typically hits lower in the lineup. Patrick Murphy decided to lead her off in today's game, drop Vandergrift down to the 6th hole. Papillo typically hits in the 3-hole.
3 for 3 this year with the bases loaded, including a grand slam. Thought about it briefly, held strong.
Well, that's why they have yes, yes, no down that foul pole on the left field side, because they are attack, attack, no, it's out of the zone, hold up the swing.
Bueno.
Papillo wanted to hit. She was not running down that first baseline until she for sure heard the umpire call ball 4, but that brings up Brooke Wells, who is leading the Tide with 15 home runs.
Grounded out, first pitch she saw, first time up. Sophomore out of Round Rock, Texas, just north of Austin. Looking for her first hit of the series. Good on the corner from Wells, 0-2.
She's so strong on that outer half, has a lot of vertical break as well as horizontal break, so that pitch is going to nip the outer half, continue to move away. Oh, she goes back there again, but this time at 59 miles an hour, so that's the off speed. She blends both those pitches together so well.
Wells versus Wells. Ooh, that was close.
That was very close. That is a tough pitch to take, trying to expand that zone.
Gutty at bat from Brooke Wells. 35th pitch of this inning coming up for Hannah.
How about Brooke Wells with her 8th double of the year at the bases loaded. This pitch elevated and she gets all into it, but she still lets it travel. She doesn't try to pull it. She goes oppo with it. She gets into that right center gap, and she knows with the bases loaded, that is going to clear them. And Hannah Wells, the freshman, knowing that that mistake did a lot of damage. A 3-run double for Brooke Wells to put the Tide on top, 5-4.
Boy, you talk about a game of inches. You think of that comebacker to Hannah Wells just off the tip of her glove, and that would have been a 3rd out a long time ago for Texas. Wasn't meant to be. Alabama with a 5-run second inning. And they have erased a 4-0 deficit. As Wells departs and Cambria Salmon comes on. So both starters, 2 freshmen in their biggest games of the season, both knocked out early. Sophomore out of Beaumont, California will come on, the right-hander. 5-0 on the season with a 2.12 ERA.
Salmon with a lot of tools, opportunity for her to try to shut down this Alabama team that is surging, as well as the crowd here at the Rhodes House. She's going to be mid to high 60s, so good velocity. She's got a nice drop ball and screwball mix that she really hammers the lower half of the zone in, but she will throw a rise ball up at your eyes to elevate or change that eye level of the hitter. I think right now it's just about trying to roll a ground ball, get out of this inning so that the Longhorns can pick up the bats and try to get that lead back.
Well, the Rhodes House has come alive. And number 1 Texas will try and work out of some trouble. A 5-run second inning. Another base runner in scoring position for Anna Roman. She is the 9th to the plate this inning. An RBI single for Salem Hawkins, the RBI walk with the bases loaded for Papillo, and then a 3-run double for Brooke Wells. 3 of the runs this inning got on base with free passes. So the walks have hurt both pitching staffs tonight.
I was just going to say, for young pitchers out there, the lesson we learned here tonight is the free passes are deadly. They typically end up on that scoreboard.
Here's the 2-1. Fouls that off.
Good job by Roman. Opportunity here to try to get some more runs up on that board. Try to extend the lead a little bit. It's an Alabama team that has left 215 runners on base, trying to convert them all in this game, getting them to cross the dish.
Lost her. 4th walk of the inning as Alabama bats around the order. And now Ambry Taylor, who started it all, will come up for a second time. 4 walks and 3 hits in the inning for Bama.
Good job by Alabama, really to tighten up that strike zone, not chasing stuff out, not helping out Texas pitchers, hunting their pitch.
Foul back onto the rooftop of the press box. Texas led this thing 4-zip heading into the bottom of the second, and a big Bama rally. Can they keep it going? That pitch blows by Atwood, another wild pitch.
It's a rise ball. Atwood at 6'2" typically will go up and be able to grab those.
Citlali Gutierrez is now up in the Texas bullpen. Both coaching staffs going deeper into their pitching staffs than they anticipated. Life in the SEC.
Oh, absolutely.
With these explosive offenses.
It is all hands on deck for these pitching staffs. You got to make sure you're warm or can get warm quickly, because obviously, as we've seen, a 5-spot up by Alabama, that the wheels can fall off quickly.
Taylor, did she hold? Oh, 2-2.
I thought she held up. We'll have to take a look, see if that bat head crossed the plane of the front of the dish. It looked like she had held up. Ooh. Have to remember not to umpire at first, so they go down the line to the third base umpire to make that call.
Had to swing at that same pitch to protect there. Towering drive, but foul. Full count.
I love the way that Taylor is battling. She was the leadoff in this inning, grounded out to the shortstop. Trust me, you're a hitter. You know when you've been up and made an out already in the inning, you're like, I'm not making 2 outs in this inning. I am going to get this ball to the wall.
Wells and Roman aboard. Another rocket foul.
Great job of fouling off pitches, putting herself at this full count.
9th pitch of this at-bat. What an AB.
Wow.
For Taylor, and that'll load the bases again for Alabama.
5th free pass of the inning.
Marley Giles singled and scored earlier in the inning. Bases loaded just a few moments ago, and Brooke Wells delivered a 3-run double. Full tide again for Giles.
Now look at where Atwood is at. So she is well down. That pitch is supposed to be on the inner half. She's down on her leg guard, so no opportunity for her to get up and get that. Remember, she's 6'2". She normally is able to catch that. She's going to need to start working from a squat position if those pitches keep going up. Again, that one almost gets by.
Giles wanted all of that one. Slow roll to Nichols at third, and in time to end the inning. 6 runs on the board for Alabama.